Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
This weekend on Shamrock FC, I am joined right now by Kevin Woltkamp, who's actually fighting Chris Beale. Now, Kevin, thank you firstly for coming back on to talk with us. I hope all is well with you, and I hope everything is feeling great for this fight.
Well, thank you. I wish I could say yes, that everything went well, and this was the most productive fight camp I've ever had, but that simply was not the case. We had some good stuff happen. I was sick a couple of times, got diagnosed with a 7mm kidney stone, so this was a little rough go getting ready for a fight.
A kidney stone. I am thankful I have never had kidney stones. I won't lie, they do sound the most atrocious and painful experience blokes have went through.
Yeah, those are rough.
Now, I'm lucky enough to not experience. Now, sir, your first, the fight we spoke to last, you sadly lost your fight, but the fight itself, what did you get from the fight? What did you get to learn from that fight in yourself as a fighter?
The truth is I learned that in the pro ranks of things, I can't just be eager to take a last-minute fight. And, it was a learning experience at the pro level, but it wasn't something I was unfamiliar with because, that fight, my first guy backed out about a month before, and then I was supposed to fight James Evans. That's who I was slated to fight. And then he backed out. He said he got sick or something happened, and so then Bo Kuntz stepped up to fight, and, it was okay. I got caught. Took my eyes off of him for a split second, and I got caught. And then, after the fight, Bo was real, good sport, real respectful, came in the back, and he's like, Kevin, I've had over 36 fights. You know that, right? And I was like, no. I said, but I'm a fighter. We fight. That's what we get in here to do. So whether it was my first fight or whether it was my 500th fight, you're going to get the same me no matter what.
And that's beautiful that he came back to speak to you, and I think that's what I love about this sport, the fact that you go to war for a possibility of 15 minutes, and at the end of it, it's strange. You're connected in a way after the fight. There's a bond between two guys after a fight. No matter how it goes. What did you get from? Obviously, did you think that was your timing off? Then do you feel that you said you took your eye off? Do you feel that in this fight then? Obviously, besides the fact that it wasn't the best camp with obviously the kidney stones, which I won't lie, sounds atrocious. Do you feel that your timing will be a lot better? You feel that that focus will be there a lot more than knowing what can happen?
Oh yeah, definitely. This fight camp, the positives that have come out of it were, for the first time in my short fighting career, I've only been fighting now for about 4 years, but for the first time I actually had a legitimate striking coach and boxing coach, and Ben Nogueras is a local promotion owner here in the Kansas City area, and with Ben came one of the boxing coaches, Eddie Villalobos, and both of these guys were working my stand-up. Starting out, it was awkward because I love being on the ground. I feel comfortable on the ground. That's my home, and we're trying to kind of break some of that to where I'm not just a one-dimensional fighter. They want me to be able to attack and do so many different things in so many different areas, and that definitely has kind of changed my mentality to where now, Chris Beale likes to stand. I've watched him fight. The guy likes to stand and bang, and that's good. He's a great counter fighter as well. And for me, in the past, if I get in trouble, I'm looking to try to take it to the ground. Well, now I feel like the things that we've learned just in the last 2.5 months, I feel like my confidence level is just through the roof to where, if I can stand in front of a guy and we can trade, I think that's going to be an exciting night.
You said there he's a counter fighter. I suppose one aspect then from your kind of game plan would be not to be over eager running into anything. It'd be a patient game. I know with the heavyweight division, it can literally end at any time because, let's be honest, you guys don't hit soft, you hit hard. So it's one of them things, I imagine that would be in the back of your mind where you think, if he's a counter fighter, he will be looking maybe to try and bait you into something, he might try and come with a flurry to hope that you will come back with something of your own to maybe counter yourself. I imagine you're going to would you be looking to do a patient kind of fight?
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I'm fighting a counter fighter, the one thing I do realize is that counter fighter can capitalize when he sees a pause in action, and so from my perspective, the cool thing about now having the stand up being comfortable is that if I can go in and throw a quick combo or throw a quick combo in with a kick, and I see that this guy's ready to counter, well, that's fine. Let's change levels and let's get it to the ground. And I'm completely confident that we have the skill set now to do that. And one thing I don't want to allow, though, with a good counter fighter is I don't want to have a pause in the motion here to where this guy's got time to really tee off on me and kind of pick and choose what he wants to do. The idea here is to stay in front of my opponent long enough to execute my strategy, and then as soon as I'm done doing what I'm doing, I need to be gone. I need to be somewhere else besides just looking in his eyeballs. Does that make sense?
It does indeed. Did you notice that then in training when you were letting your hands go a bit more freely, when you were you're acquiring the kind of combinations? Did you notice that then that your training partners would obviously have their hands up, then they would try to come back with a counter? Did you notice the opportunities were there more for the takedown, whereas before guys knew who you were training with, probably knew you would go for the takedown more often? Now they're starting to have to be a bit more wise and keep their hands up a bit more and look out for your striking because it is developing.
Correct, yeah, and I think that's been kind of if I can call it the funnest part of training is seeing that, when a guy's occupied with watching my hands or he's watching a kick or something like that and his focus is there, it just inevitably sets up an easy takedown. The takedown's hidden by everything that's going on in front of his eyes, and he doesn't see the takedown coming as easily. Whereas in the past, I'll just be honest, it was pretty easy to see when I was going to go and shoot in. I mean, because basically I might throw a jab or I might have put a push kick out or something, and it's pretty easy to pick up on when I bend over and I'm running to tackle you. Whereas now, completely different ballgame. Now it's all different.
I suppose then that would reinvigorate you. It gives you a bit of excitement as just in yourself, knowing you probably sit there and think, I wish I was doing this all along. It's quite exciting when you get a new addition to your arsenal. I found it as well. I would do combinations and then all of a sudden I'd stick one or two, something at the start or something at the end, and it would almost change the whole thing. It's crazy, but at the same time you just think to yourself, I feel like I've got a new kind of like a new finishing move, like in Mortal Kombat. Like you've got a new finishing move to finish the guy with. It's exciting. So is that maybe for this fight coming up, you're looking forward to surprising him?
Oh yeah, I'll be honest. If this guy underestimates my striking ability, it's going to be either number one, a very short night for him, or it's going to turn into a long night because he's going to piss me off and I'm going to want to hurt him for a long period of time. I'm a very respectful fighter. I mean, I honestly believe that this isn't just, a drunken brawl. To me, that's not a fight. That's just a bunch of people being idiots. This sport, I think you have to have a level of respect for your opponent because that's just the nature of the beast. I mean, you can't just fault the guy because he's willing to get into that cage and bang with you. But the moment I feel disrespect coming from my opponent, which has already began with this guy over a Facebook message, to me that does something different, and it makes me want to be a different kind of animal in that cage. And so if this guy thinks, Kevin Woltkamp is just going to come and immediately try to drag me to the ground, well, he's got another thing coming. This is Kevin Woltkamp, the workhorse version 2.0, and so he better be ready for that.
Well, I'm sure I'm not sure what the Facebook message said, but I'm pretty sure it was very friendly, and he was just wishing you all the best.
Yeah, if only that was the case, maybe we could have had a coffee or something, but no, it wasn't quite that. It was me basically just making sure that this guy was going to fight because he took a fight inside of 30 days when the contract he wasn't supposed to. Well, to me, that was a sign of disrespect. And so it left our fight up in the air, and I'm like, look, man, I've been training my ass off. I want to fight. What's going on? And he responded with some comments that, in a nutshell, it was like, quit worrying about it. You just better be training. And I'm making it polite. It wasn't quite that nice, but that's it in a nutshell.
I'll admit, I've had it before. I've actually had it before where I had an opponent message me before we agreed to a fight, and then he messages me, and it was it was one of them ones where I think he was messaging me maybe to try and instigate friction or trash talk, but at the same time, I just came back with I'm not sure what it was exactly I said, but I just came back with a humorous answer because that's just the way I am. You know, I'll take the piss out myself and I'll take the piss out of other people as well. It's just the way I am. I can't help it. I will mock myself more than anyone else will mock me. But it's some people do that. Some guys like to maybe feel it's a psychological thing. They feel like if they can get a battle of the words in, they can win the fight. It's strange, but I don't get it. You know, it's trash talk ain't my kind of thing. I just, you know, it's just not my thing personally. But some guys are into it. Hey, it works. Let's be honest, it bloody works. Look, Kevin, I'm sure you and Chris. I'm sure Chris is going to turn up as well. Firstly, I'm sure he's going to be there to throw down with you. When you and him have a fight, you know what? This excites me. The fact that you're evolving as well. You know, you're not looking to be stagnant. You're not looking to just be the guy shooting for the takedowns to finish the guys on the ground. You want to be a better fighter. You want to develop your skill set, and that's great. That's great to hear because that makes for a better fight.
Yeah, definitely. I think you know, number one, we are athletes, and I get that. But at the same time, we're entertainers. I mean, the fans come to watch people that have been training their ass off, but they want to see a show. You know, I think one of the worst things that we can do as entertainers and athletes is, you know, these people pay to watch a fight, and they're bored, you know, because number one, maybe our cardio wasn't up to where it needs to be, so we get tired and we just want to lay on somebody. You know, to me, that's not a fight. You know, I mean, to me, if I get you on the ground, I'm looking to ground and pound, or I'm looking to submit you. There's not going to be no, hey, I'm just going to lay on top of you because, you know, I didn't train my cardio right. We trained. And one of the things that I do feel like I'm pretty good at for being a bigger fighter is my gas tank. It usually doesn't run out. Usually I can take it. I mean, as an amateur, had some fights go, you know, the full 3 rounds for a heavyweight, and typically heavyweights don't go 3 rounds. You know, it's just you trade a punch, somebody gets caught, somebody goes to sleep. But so I've gone the full ride. If I need to do it again, I will do it. But I don't see this fight going 3 rounds. I truthfully do not.
Well, look, Kevin, I want to see. I hope for a great fight this weekend. I will have to catch up with the fights because I'm away this weekend. I'm tied up away, and I don't have access to the internet. But I'll tell you what, people at home, if you want to watch it, you can go to the Shamrock FC website. There is a way to access the stream via there. Also, if you are in the vicinity to go to watch the card, do so. It's probably sold out by now, to be fair. Shamrock FC's cards usually do sell pretty well. Kevin, before I let you shoot off, mate, can I ask for your social media so people can jump on and give you a follow?
Yeah, definitely. If you're in the Kansas City area, we're at Brick House Fitness and MMA, and that's at 402 Pendleton Avenue, Wellsville, Kansas. You can find me as well, Kevin Woltkamp on Facebook, and then on Twitter, Kevin the Workhorse Woltkamp. You can look up the Workhorse, and I'm out there. So, yeah, that's it. And if you got a second, can I give a shout-out to a couple of my sponsors?
Kevin, I was going to ask that next.
Okay.
Every sponsor you've got, man. Every single one.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout-out to a couple of the new ones. I've got Strictly Music, Dwayne Woods. He's affiliated with the guys over at Full Throttle Saloon. I want to give a shout-out to those guys because they came on board as a new sponsor, and I just want to let them know how much I appreciate them. And, you know, if you need help with booking, whether it be, you know, getting that bus, getting the venue set up, but also, too, you can't forget your saloon shine. They've got, it's not moonshine, it's saloon shine. And I'm telling you right now, we got some of that in our freezer that was given to my wife as a present. And I've touched it a couple of times, and that stuff's legit. So I give a big thanks to them. Also, too, I just want to give a shout-out once again to another one of my good friends that I grew up with, SOB Built Power Sports. Aaron Klein is a part of SOB Built Power Sports, and if you've got a utility UTV and you want that thing souped up, he's the guy to take it to because this guy puts these things are crazy, phenomenally powerful and fast when he puts these turbo kits on. So again, that's SOB Built Power Sports. So I'll just leave it with those two, and we'll just go from there.
Hey, that's fantastic, man. And look, last but not least, you've already mentioned your gym. So again, give a shout out to your striking coach, your training partners, your friends, your family, just people like that, man.
Yeah, definitely. First of all, I'll give a shout out to my wife. She's the real boss. Without my wife and my daughter in my corner, none of this would be possible. Give a shout out to my jiu-jitsu coach, Steve Coughlin with American Jiu-Jitsu. He's the guy I call the Godfather. I mean, he's brought mixed martial arts to the Midwest. That's basically how it all got here. It was a went through him and men just like him. Give a shout out to Ben Nogueras, Eddie Villalobos, my striking coaches and friends. Also my teammates, the guys that I've been sparring with a lot, Tim Matney, Connor Gross, Matt Suddeth, Eric Sprague. There's a number of other guys as well, but Jessica Rambo as well, another jiu-jitsu girl that we got. So anyway, everybody just look forward to this fight. I'm looking to go out there and make some noise for sure.
I'm sure you will, Gavin. Honestly, thank you so much for your time, buddy. It's great to speak to you again. And look, have a great time. Have a great 2016. I wish you to. I don't wish. Sorry, I want you to have a great fight, a great weekend, and a great year.
All right, you'll be hearing about me this year. Don't you worry.